Iman Gadzhi lied to us all. And when I was 17, at the beginning of my journey as an entrepreneur, I wholeheartedly believed this lie that he told and pretty much anything he said. And looking back now, if I didn't realize it was a lie and then change what I was doing because of that, then I would have completely destroyed my potential as an entrepreneur and it would have ruined my life. And I wholeheartedly believe as well that God and YouTube has brought you to this video because you may be believing the same lie that I believed. And I do not want you to destroy your potential as an entrepreneur. So obviously you're thinking, what lie was it? What lie did he tell? Rather than me saying it, I'm going to let Iman himself tell you what the lie is. So I'm going to play a clip of him talking and then we'll come back after that.
As e-com growth partner, like being the agency behind e-commerce brands, it's fucking stupid, right? Here's what you need to understand. There's non-educated and educated buyers. So it's kind of like imagine you're a personal trainer, right? Imagine you're a personal trainer and you either are a personal trainer to athletes, like you're the strength and conditioning coach, or you just help people lose weight. Who do you think is a harder sell? Who do you think is gonna get more shit tests from potential clients? Who do you think is gonna have their clients be like, okay, what do you actually know about what you're doing? It's gonna be the person who's dealing with educated buyers, for example, in that case, with a professional athlete, whereas someone who's just helping people lose a bit of weight in the gym, if they look half decent, if they know like a little bit about what they're doing, most people who are overweight are like, okay, cool, this person can help me. That's basically the same thing when you're selling agency services. When you're first starting out for beginners. Now here's the thing, being an e-com growth partner or working with infopreneurs, which is actually what my agency did for the last 4 years, or 4 of the 6 years it was running, was we worked with mainly info businesses towards the end of law e-commerce businesses. Reason why is because we had a lot of experience. We knew what we were doing. But it's so funny to me to hear these people say, yeah, you should be a IPGA growth partner. And just their argument is fucking stupid. And you just have to use a little bit of brain cells. But to try to recommend that to beginners is fucking stupid. That's like trying to tell PTs, hey, I'm going to teach you how to be a PT and specifically work with professional athletes. Well, a professional athlete is going to call you out on your fucking shit that you don't know what you're talking about. Whereas, let's say, for example, in the agency world, if you're working with real estate agents, gyms, these kind of brick and mortar businesses in your first half year, year and a half, these businesses know fuck all about marketing. That's why it's easier to sign them.
So let me break down what Iman just said to us in a bit more of an easy to understand way. So he's pretty much said to us that for your first business, starting out, you should work with the lowest quality of companies that exist right now in terms of clients that you could sign on. Provide a service that you don't care about at all, that also they don't really value that much, and work with companies that can only pay you around $500 to $1K per month. And versus the other option that he obviously was talking about and talking bad about quite passionately is working with quite established, successful companies, being of real value to them and being able to charge a large amount, like for example 5 to 10K per month versus $500 per month. So me breaking it down like that, which option sounds better to you? Let's remove the fact that it was Iman himself saying it. If some random guy came to you and said that, what would you think? And if you ask yourself, do I want to work with low quality companies that can only pay me $500 to $1K per month that I don't even really care about? Or do I want to work with really cool companies that I'm actually proud to work with, that I actually gain a lot of really cool expertise and experience working with them, and I'm also able to charge them 5 to 10K per month? Which one would you choose if you ask yourself that question? And of course you choose the second one. And that is the exact lie that I believed and the false perception that I believed because of Iman when I was 17 until I was 18. So to give you guys some context on my journey. So like I said, I started out when I was 17, is when I realised that, okay, my family is not the best situation financially. If I don't do something about it, both my parents didn't work a job, so if I didn't do something about it, then our family is not going to go down the best path in terms of, we could have struggled quite a lot. And I started my first business when I was 17. So obviously the guy that kind of showed me the first business was Iman. So I was on my phone every single day. This was 2020, so it's 2024 now. So 4 years ago now, when I was 17, I was watching Iman day in, day out. I was watching all of his videos, and obviously that was when he sold us, as I'm sure you as well, on the dream of SMMA, of you can start this SMMA where you just sign clients on, they pay you, even selling them something is quite simple. You can just get somebody else to do the work, and it's pretty much you can start a business with no money, and it's this dream fantasy that you can make 10K a month really easily. And where that may have been the truth, like back in 2018, 2019, and maybe 2020 as well, maybe actually not 2020, 2018, 2019, it was no longer the truth ever since 2020, to be honest. But guys like Iman have continued to tell people that it's the easiest business to start and the best business to start as an entrepreneur, as a beginning entrepreneur, is to build an agency, working with local businesses, doing these services that nobody even really cares about, that you don't really care about, outsourcing the work to somebody else, and then you just take the profit on top. So that's what I thought was the best thing to do. I thought, fuck, this sounds sick, let me do it. So I put all my effort into it when I was in high school and I was 17. And I did everything that the gurus told me to do in terms of the way to sign clients, the way to do outreach, and it never worked. But maybe like 4 or 5 months into it, I kind of thought, okay, maybe these methods don't work in terms of the outreach methods, but let me figure out my own thing. So I figured out a way to sign clients on through a certain platform that worked back then. It doesn't work anymore, but it worked back then. So I was like, sick. I signed quite a few clients out of it. It was like $500 clients, 1K per month clients max. All these local businesses that I didn't even really care about, but it was money. I was 17, so whatever money was being made was sick to me. And I did quite well. Obviously, like, it wasn't from the methods that either Iman or any other guru taught. I just kind of figured out my own methods, luckily, to sign clients. And it got me to around 10K per month. So I actually did make 10K per month. And when I made 10K per month, it was when I was 17, of course. And then when I turned 18, I actually went to Dubai and I kind of moved there. So when I turned 18, obviously I was still in high school, moved to Dubai. And while I was there, I was meeting some really cool guys, becoming friends with guys that were multimillionaires, in their mid-20s, even some of them early 20s. And obviously for me going there, meeting these guys, I kind of realised that, these guys aren't that special, and, in terms of they're not that much different from me. So why can't I be a millionaire? So obviously my whole goal, my whole life, goal was to hit 10K per month, and I got that. So I was like, sick, okay, I finally got 10K per month. Obviously, thanks to God. And then my whole life goal became 30K per month. I was like, 30K per month? Man, if I could get 1K a day, 30K per month, that is the peak. That is, how can I expect to make any more money than that? That is where I really want to get to. Because obviously I was signing on clients that were like $500 to 1K, so that would mean I would have to have like 30-something clients, maybe 40-something clients to actually make 30K per month profit. So I thought that was the next goal. That was the big goal that I had in life. But then when I went to Dubai, I met all these guys and became friends with all these guys who were multimillionaires. So I thought to myself, why can't I be a millionaire? And then I thought, with this business that I'm running, I wasn't even really proud to talk about. I wasn't even really proud to tell people, this is the business that I run. I work with these local businesses doing social media management and ads. I didn't actually do it myself. I just outsourced it all to VAs and freelancers from India. And for me, I was like, I wasn't actually proud of the business that I was running, nor at this point I realised also as well, it was never actually going to take me to where I thought I could be in life, where I wanted to be in life. Because I had like maybe 13, 14 clients and I was only making 10K per month. So I realised at that time, something is not right here. This business that I'm running, of working with local businesses, this belief that I had that was the best business for me to start was a lie. Because except from some money, which obviously was nice, I'm not saying that was a bad thing at all, I hadn't really progressed that much in terms of like, people have this false perception where, and I will also throw up a screenshot right now, where Iman has said that some guy asked him in the story, I've just signed my first client, what should I really be focusing on in the next 2 to 5 years? And Iman, very kind of passionately says that every guy that I know who's successful started their first business and then figured out something else from there. So like he's pretty much saying that your first business, your first agency doesn't need to correlate to your next business. It doesn't need to like get bring you closer to starting that next business. So he's pretty much saying, you don't need to be on the path of becoming a millionaire when you're first, making your first dollars. He says, bro, just make your first dollar, get that done first. And then you can think about randomly at some magical point in your journey, you can come up with an idea to then make millions and billions, wherever you want to be. And obviously, I knew myself, I wanted to be at least a millionaire. That was the main goal that I had. I kind of knew that, okay, I could be a millionaire because I knew all these guys were millionaires around me. But then I realized, how has this agency that I've built, working with local businesses, providing services that doesn't really give me any benefit in terms of the knowledge that I'm gaining and the expertise that I'm gaining, how is that going to benefit me to starting a business that can make me millions? And I also remembered that when I was 17 and 18, when I kind of first started out, the kind of vision that I had to become a millionaire and to make millions in the world was I actually really wanted to start an e-com brand. I really wanted to build a massive worldwide 7, 8, 9-figure e-com brand that was just actually not like a dropshipping store, like a really big e-com brand. And I always wanted to do that. That was like my main goal that I wanted to get to. That's the business that I knew would make me a multimillionaire, that I really wanted to start. And obviously I didn't have any money to do that, so that's why I started the agency. But then I realised when I was 18, obviously when I was at 10K per month, I realised, why have I been working with these local businesses and instead of working with e-commerce brands? Why wasn't I working with the same type of company that I want to build myself, getting the expertise, getting the experience that I actually want to build my own brand. And also as well, why haven't I been working with companies that I actually want to work with, and therefore charging them as well, being of enough value to them to where I can charge at least 5 to 10k per month, like I had a couple of friends doing, working with e-com brands doing that. So I realized all this at this one time when I was in Dubai, and I was like, this is the lie that I've been told. That's when I realized this was the lie that I've been told my whole journey since I was 17, that the best thing to do as a beginner is to work with local businesses and provide just pointless, meaningless services for them that at some point will come to an end. And I also realized as well, obviously this was COVID time, lockdown time in 2021, 2020. And I also saw quite a few other guys that I knew, obviously not in person but online, the guys that I saw in the agency space, where they ran real estate marketing agencies for restaurants and all this kind of other stuff like that, construction companies. And obviously when the lockdown came, I saw their agencies actually go from a good revenue to literally zero. They lost all of their clients because their clients couldn't pay them anymore because of the economy, because of the lockdown, because of they just didn't need their services anymore. And I thought, that may happen to me. I don't want that to happen to me. So I was like, I can't do this anymore. This is just a complete this is a BS lie that I've been told that I can only work. Like I've been told by Iman I can only work with local businesses. This is complete BS. So at that point in my journey, when I was 18 in Dubai, I quit my SMMA. That's when I did it. So I stopped watching anything to do with Iman, stopped watching his YouTube videos, stopped watching any other guru at all. And I thought to myself, okay, now I need to figure it out for myself because, unluckily there wasn't anybody, even till now, there's nobody else that, no guru, no YouTuber, nobody that genuinely teaches people to build an agency in the e-commerce niche and do it in the way that I want to do it, Not providing pointless services, not outsourcing everything, but really, getting these two things that I wanted. First was the cash flow, the 50k per month. I knew that if I actually wanted to build, get on the path of building real wealth and be able to invest into my own brand, I can't just be making 10, 15, 20k per month. I have to be making at least 50k per month within the same year that I was thinking that I had this plan. So it can't take me 1, 2, 3 years to make 50k per month. And also as well, I genuinely wanted to work with the same type of company that I want to build in the future, e-com brands, similar e-com brands to the ones that I wanted to start. And also as well, I wanted to, in a sense, provide a service for them that is actually, by me providing that service and me becoming an expert in that and having the experience of doing that, growing brands, that's also going to benefit me. And also not just with me, but also I'll build the team. Through building my agency, I'll build a team as well that I can use both the expertise and the team and also then the money as well from that cash flow to then build my own brand and make it a massive success. So that's what I realized, why haven't I been doing this the whole time? And I'm telling you for a fact, you may think, you still made 10k a month, so it wasn't that, a help and benefit. No, it wasn't at all. All that did was hold me back. I could have been doing this from the age of 17 and I would have been a lot further than where I am now. Not to say I'm not grateful for where I am, very, very grateful, and I will tell you where I am in a minute. But yeah, so I realized at that point, I just fell into the trap. I fell into the trap of gurus, of Iman, of his, just the BS that he was saying in this sense. And nothing against Iman, because I'll tell you now why he says this. So why he says this stuff, why he's telling everybody to build their agency in the local business niche, even though his agency pretty much never worked in local business niche, and the whole time, because obviously he started his own course and he had his team members that he built his own course with when he was 18. That's when he made his first million with his course. Because since then, pretty much when he was 18 to when he stopped his agency when he was around 21 or something, 20. His agency only worked with info product companies, only worked with quite cool, successful info product companies and as well e-commerce brands. So why is he telling everyone else on his YouTube and his Instagram and his personal brand, why is he telling all the beginners to build an agency working with local businesses when he never did that? So the reason he's telling you all to do this is because for him, of course, if you don't know already, he makes all of his money from his program, from his education company. And now there's nothing that I have against that, nothing wrong with that at all. But because of that, and for him to make more money and to sustain the amount of money he's making around 10, 15, 20 million per year from that company. And to sustain the money he's making from his program, he has to attract, it may sound a bit bad, but he has to attract the lowest level of sophistication in terms of a buyer, in terms of a customer that's going to buy his program. So what that means is he has to almost frame his program and frame the business model he's teaching in a way where the most laziest guy who wants to start a business, who has a bit of money, will think, okay, yeah, the business he's telling me to start sounds easy, so let me do that. So that's why he frames it as a way where it's a service arbitrage, it's like drop servicing, work with local businesses, do services that they don't even know about yet. So like you just have to be 1 or 2 steps ahead of them in terms of knowledge, and you can charge them some money for a monthly service. So obviously that appeals to the kind of most NPC level of like buyer that exists, and obviously the world is consisted of the majority of NPCs. So therefore, most of his buyers are all young guys who maybe not NPCs, but they just don't understand. They don't have this understanding yet, and that's also why I'm making this video, for you to genuinely understand and not have to go through the same journey that I went through. Because even though I was lucky, thanks to God, I did do well, but that wasn't because of the gurus or what they told me. It's because I figured out a way to do the best with what I was given in terms of figuring out a way to send clients. It doesn't work anymore that way, but it worked back then. So I was lucky, but I know thousands and thousands of people. Like I've not know obviously, but I've seen them over the last 3-4 years that I've been in the game. I've seen so many guys and spoken to so many guys, and tried to help so many guys. Obviously, because I had I had that transformation where I quit SMMA. They get started in SMMA. They build an agency working with local businesses, clinics, gyms, brick and mortar companies, just anything like construction, all that kind of stuff. And they're not doing it because they want to. They're doing it because they think that that's what they have to do, because that's the only way they can make money, and they just want to make money and then start something else in the future. And they've tried so hard for months and months and months, maybe even over a year or 2 years, trying everything that the guru is telling them to do, putting all their effort in, and it just never works. And that is because I'm telling you for a fact now, it does not work. Working with local businesses, doing these partner services, yes, maybe somehow you will sign 1, 2, 3, 4 clients, but especially now more than ever, and especially going to 2025, it's not going to work. It does not work. Why? Because people like Iman have brought in so many people doing the same thing, saying the same thing in their outreach, pitching their services in the same way, providing the same services. And also as well, what's happened is that level of like that market, the local business market, what platforms like Facebook and Instagram are doing is they're making it easier for them to do their own marketing. Like for example, running Facebook ads for local business, it's pretty simple now. Like all you have to do on Facebook is just press a couple of buttons and it's automatic from there onwards. And the same with Instagram. Obviously Instagram back then was quite a new thing in terms of growing an Instagram page, but now it's quite simple. People know what to do. People know how to make reels. People can see examples of it. People can do it already. So now that that's both the saturation has come in terms of agency owners from guys like Iman, and also as well the market that you're trying to sell to is also much more sophisticated than they were 3-4 years ago. Now it just will not work. If you are thinking about starting an agency in the local business niche, trying to do social media management or ads for them, I'm telling you as a big brother who has gone through it, has done it, to just not do it. It's a waste of time. And think about what you really want to do in the future. Think about what vision do I really have to become a multi-millionaire, to become even a billionaire. Because even though guys like Iman are trying to push you down the path of just making your first dollar online, doing all these pointless and really meaningless business models that aren't, going to give you what you want in life, just because you're a beginner, and they label you as a beginner to make you have this fear inside of you that makes you kind of almost believe whatever they say. That's kind of the psychological tactics these guys use. They label you as certain things, and they kind of enforce these beliefs into you, and they program you in a way to make you believe whatever they say. And obviously when you believe what they say, you'll then buy whatever they want to sell to you, which is obviously these programs. And obviously, like I said, I have been through this. I went through it for 2 years, and I came out the other side now, which I'll tell you what I did now. So after I quit my SMMA, obviously I set out on a mission to how can I find a way, how can I build an agency where I can be of enough value to the companies that I want to build in the future, e-commerce brands, where I can charge 5 to 10k per month that will give me these two things, both the cash flow 50k per month within the same year, within 6 to 10 months, and also as well, how can I actually myself gain the expertise and become the entrepreneur with my understanding, my knowledge, my experience, and also as well build a team that I can then use to build my own e-commerce brand and make it a massive success. So the way that I've done that, the way that I did that, is by building something that I now call a growth partner agency. So my growth partner agency, so that you know what my journey has been so far. Within 6 months of doing everything the way that I thought was right, after reading a lot of books, after learning a lot of things from much bigger entrepreneurs in terms of not agency world, but more like how bigger companies function and how they, do what they do in terms of, working with clients and signing clients and offering things. When I understood a lot of different things, I kind of synthesized it, put it all together in my head, and then I came out with this business model that I created called a growth partner agency. And with my growth partner agency, obviously what it means, so that you know what it means, has a very significant meaning, each word. So growth, what that means is with the companies you are working with, your service or what you're doing for them is you're helping them grow through your chosen method of growth. That's what growth means. So your service, in a sense, is not just some basic stuff like Facebook ads, Google ads. In a sense of like, it's not just single services. I don't run a Google ad agency or a TikTok ad agency. I run an agency, a growth partner agency, where I partner with brands. That's the second word. So I partner with brands on a long-term basis. So not like they're not just coming on to work with me for 3 months. They come on to work with me for. They see me as a partner in their business. They work with me for. I've not lost a client in over 2 years that are my real partners, and they pay me, of course, at least 5 to 10k per month as a retainer for what I do for them, and also as well they pay me a revenue share too. So around 5 to 10% of the revenue that I generate for them, we also get paid. So what that means is that by the end of, for example, working with the client for 3-4 months, getting results for them, what we get paid is around 10 to 20k per client per month. That may sound a bit crazy to you. It may sound like, but how can you do that even though you're a beginner? And that is what I realized was this bullshit belief. That whole belief of, but I'm just a beginner, how can I do that, was just wrong. So I figured out a way to make that happen. And that's how I developed the growth partner agency, the model that I now use, that I now run. And when it comes to the agency word in the growth partner agency, why that's not just growth partner, why it's growth partner agency, is the agency signifies and means that you have a team fulfilling your services for you. You're not just like a glorified kind of employee, glorified consultant, as for example you are with the business model that they call growth operator. Pretty much all you are there is a glorified employee, a glorified consultant in some senses. But for me, I didn't want to be just a glorified employee. I wanted to actually have a real team, build a real company that I was proud of. Not just a team of freelancers and VAs and outsourced people. I wasn't going to service arbitrage. I wanted to really build a real company where I can genuinely build a team where both myself and the team are actually experts at what we do, to where we can then use that knowledge and expertise to then build my own brand that I want to build. But not also that, but when I was in Dubai, I also met quite a few guys who were investors, angel investors, guys who ran private equity firms. And I thought that sounds really cool. That's the idea of just being an investor, investing into companies that are really cool, helping them grow with my knowledge and just putting the pieces together, and obviously with my money as well. I will take an equity piece in their company. I will take a part of their company because of the value that I can give to them. I thought that was really cool. So my whole vision with this agency that I was building was to get to that point, to get to the point where I'm actually going to be able to build an investment firm where I can invest into companies, actually become a partner in their company, and with myself, my own knowledge, and also my team's knowledge, we can grow that company. And also we won't just get paid with retainer or revenue share, but we'll also get paid because we actually own a part of the company as well. So yeah, that's kind of like what I've done pretty much. So to let you know how the journey's gone, obviously I realized this around a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So within 6 months of starting my agency, my growth partner agency, I was well over to 50k per month in profit. So what happened for me was, on the 5th week of my outreach, also did outreach in my own way, didn't listen to any gurus in terms of how I did outreach, how I signed clients, which is also something really important. You should not do outreach the way that gurus are telling you. It's a very important thing to not do in terms of the way they tell you to do emails and like to do outreach in terms of in terms of like being salesy when it comes to your messaging. Never do any stuff like that. So when I did it my own way, on the 5th week of my outreach, I booked in 5 calls with massive brands, massive e-commerce brands that I was like, wow, how am I booking in a call with these brands? It was crazy. And then the week after, so they booked in for the week following. And in that week, I managed to close them all for at least a 5k per month retainer. Some of them are a bit more, some of them were around 5, but around a 5 to 10k per month retainer. So literally in that 1 week of calls, on my 6th week of ever running my growth partner agency, after quitting my SMMA, I went from 0 to 25k per month in revenue in that 1 week. And then within 6 months of actually starting the agency, I was well over 50k per month in profit with my growth partner agency. And obviously since then, it's been a little while, so I'm obviously far past that now with my growth partner agency. I'll throw up a screenshot right now to show you kind of what a recent revenue screenshot of my agency actually is. But I've pretty much figured it out. I figured out a way to work with the type of companies that I really want to work with, the same type of companies that I want to build in the future, charge them a big amount so I can actually get to 50k per month really quickly, and obviously far past that now as well. And not just that, but also give myself the experience, the expertise, and also as well build a team as well now that's actually going to benefit me in building what I now want to build, which is my what I'm going to call a growth equity firm, a kind of investment firm that's going to invest into e-commerce brands, grow them, and obviously take equity in them. And also as well, build my own e-commerce brand, which is something that I'm going to be doing very, very soon. I have the whole plan for it envisioned to have. I know exactly what I'm going to do, just have to wait for the right time to do it. And now obviously as well, I have all the cash that I could ever dream of having, to be honest. And also as well, I have the team and the knowledge myself that I need to have to actually build that brand and make it, in my idea, my vision, it's going to be a multiple 7-figure brand in the first year. I know exactly how I'm going to take it there, because now I've actually worked with so many brands in the same space, in the same niche that I want to build my own brand in, to where I know exactly what needs to be done. I pretty much had all the experience I could want to have, to where I know what needs to be done. I've seen it so many times in terms of brands growing, to where I know how I can build my own brand in my own way, and like it may turn it into a massive 8-9 figure brand in the next couple of years. So guys, I hope that made you realize and that pretty much this belief that may be instilled in you of needing to work with local businesses because you're a beginner is just bullshit. And if you do see yourself wanting to work with, for example, wanting to build, for example, let's say it's an e-commerce brand, or maybe it's info products, for example, maybe it's a SaaS company. Those are the 3 industries I would recommend to get into as an entrepreneur, because obviously they are the 3 industries that are the biggest industries in the world. There's no industries in the world bigger than them that will keep growing and growing in the future, in the next couple of years, next few years, and that will never die out the same way local business will. So if you feel yourself that you know deep down that you actually want to build a company in those industries, or you just want to be involved in those industries, in any way, you can build a growth partner agency. You can build an agency where you work with these companies, get paid 5 to 10k per month, and what you're doing for them is actually helping them grow, not just providing single basic services, and then because of that, in terms of the experience you have and the expertise you will gain, and also the team you will build, will actually benefit you massively and actually put you on the path of building that next business in a much shorter time frame than you could ever dream of doing if you were going to build a local business agency. And also as well, the one point as well I want you guys to know is that now, after also as well, I met Andrew Tate. I became good. I kind of, the first time I ever met him when I was 19 through friends, and we kind of sat down with him one evening, the first ever time. And I realized as well, he told me, like, if you want to be rich, you have to have a plan. He became who he is because he had an exact plan to get to where he is. So he became extremely successful, extremely rich, and also as well, he became the most famous man in the world because 4 or 5 years before that, he had the exact plan mapped out. So then I realized myself, I also have to have the plan mapped out and how I can be ultra successful. Because I always knew that I wanted to be really rich, really successful, but I didn't really put any number to it. I didn't really put any like detail to the plan or like to the end goal destination. So then at that time I realized, okay, I want to be a billionaire. This was around a year ago. So I want to be a billionaire, and now I'm going to kind of build the roadmap for me to getting there. And I've actually done it now. I'm not a billionaire, but I built the plan. So if you actually want to see that plan, you can watch a video. I'll put it at the end of this video in terms of my plan to become a billionaire. I've mapped out the entire plan. And the really cool thing that Iman is really wrong about, and especially with what he said in that story that I just showed you earlier, I show it again right now. He says that, you're never going to become a billionaire. Your first business doesn't need to align with that path, doesn't need to align with that plan. But I realized that my growth partner agency is completely aligned with me becoming a billionaire. It progresses me down my plan, but down my journey, but down my, it progresses me down that path, I guess, to actually becoming a billionaire. And obviously I can talk about it now, but it will take me way too long to talk about it. So go and watch that video after this video, my plan to become a billionaire. And I'm most likely, like a lot of guys have come to me and said, my plan to become a billionaire is exactly what your plan will probably be. Because I'm very much like you. I'm sure if you come to this video, and YouTube has showed you this video for a reason. So you are very much like me in terms of the way we're thinking, the ideas we have, the dreams we have. So most likely, you're watching this video, you'll pretty much resonate with everything I'm saying, and you'll understand now that you don't want to go down the same trap I went down. And also as well, when you watch the next video, me talking about the fact that in my plan to become a billionaire, that I'll leave at the end of this video on the screen. When you watch that, you'll see how my plan to become a billionaire probably really aligns with your plan and the plan you want to have anyway. So yeah, that's really important thing that I wanted to tell you guys. I want you guys to realize is that you can totally become whoever you want to become, and your first business can push you down that path. It does not have to be an agency where you're working with local businesses that you're not really proud of, not really happy working with them. So yeah, overall, guys, I hope this really hit for you. Hope this really inspired you to not go down the path that guys like Iman are pushing you down. And if you really want to build an agency and work with companies that are massive, successful, really cool, really just overall the company you would want to build yourself in the future, then you can do it. Nothing's stopping you at all. And yes, there is maybe a little bit more work to do in the beginning stage of like actually understanding what it is you're going to provide and what it is you're going to be selling to them and how you're going to be growing them. But it's not hard to do. I did it in around 2 to 4 weeks of doing research properly. And that was enough for me to actually understand the strategy and like the theory of like growing brands in the way that I want to grow them, which is the way that what I do for brands, so you know, is that I help brands grow through TikTok, which means I help them grow through things like UGC ad creatives, running their ads for them on TikTok and Facebook, and also as well working with creators, micro creators as affiliates. So that's kind of like the method that I use to grow brands and what we provide for brands. And that's also what I recommend for you as well, if you do want to work with e-commerce brands. But also as well, I would also recommend, if it does align with you, look into SaaS, look into info products. Those are the other 2 industries I would recommend to work with if you do feel like this is right for you. And you definitely do want to become a multi-millionaire, you want to build an empire of companies, you want to, maybe even for example, you do, for example, see in your brain you want to become a billionaire in the future, my plan most likely aligns with your plan and what you want your plan to be. So guys, I hope you enjoyed, I hope you found this valuable, I hope this changed your life. That's what I really wanted this video to be. And go watch that video next about me, my plans to become a billionaire, as I'm sure it will align with you. And also as well, if you actually want to know, I'm actually going to be building a new growth partner agency from scratch, just to one, to prove to myself again, but also to prove to everybody else in terms of like, you know, actually documenting it this time. So I'm going to document everything from scratch of me building a new growth partner agency, working with e-commerce brands. I'm going to document everything from obviously going from zero to over 50k per month with that agency within 6 to 8 months, in the next 6 to 8 months. So I actually started that yesterday. From the day that I'm filming this, I started that yesterday. The first video was posted yesterday. So if you want to watch that as well, check my channel out. You'll see my plan to build a 50k per month agency. 50k per month business, sorry. You'll see the title of, and yeah, watch that as well, and you'll see my plan in terms of this exact business model, how it works, what I'm going to be doing in terms of building a new one again. And you can join along with me. That'd be really cool. You can join along with me and see how it goes. And also as well, guys, if you want to kind of, you know, have a bit more of a connection with me, talk to me more, then I have a free community as well. So my free community is a place where I've built almost like a free course over the last few months of all the information that I've gained, of how I've signed my clients, how I've done well for my clients, how I've signed these massive e-commerce brands that I have signed, thanks to God, how I've had these transformation that I've had, how I've become who I am today. I've put all this like in a free course inside of my free community. So if you want to join that, then go ahead right now. There's a link in the description. Just click that. No money whatsoever. No payments. Just sign up and I'll let you in the next day or so. And then yeah, in there as well, you can also book a one-on-one call with me. I'm going to give back to the guys that watched this video. So if you feel like you are trapped in this trap of this false belief that Iman and guys like Iman have put you onto, then you can book a one-on-one call with me for like half an hour. And then I can help you out and give you the same advice that I wish I had back in the day, and like it's completely free, no money whatsoever, and then you can only book that with the link inside of my free community. So go ahead, sign up right now. It's in the description right now. I'll see you in there. You can access a free course, access that link to booking a call with me, and I will see you inshallah on the call. And I also very much pray for all of you guys that you get to where you want to be in life, and just never let anybody, especially guys like, you know, gurus like Iman and whoever else, put you down and limit your potential because of what they say. If you know that you can do something, if you want to work with massive e-com brands, you can do it. You don't need to have 2-3 years of experience. You don't need that at all. But I'm living proof of that, as well as the guys that I've taught as well. So guys, yeah, I want you to know that for a fact and have that belief in yourself. So guys, much love. Subscribe to the channel. Obviously, I'm going to be posting a lot more videos like this and a lot more detailed videos of how I sign my clients, how I scale my agency, and obviously now how I'm going to build my new agency and scale that as well. So I'll see you guys in those videos. Subscribe. Let me know how you think in the comments in terms of what you thought about this video and what I talked about, and I'll see you there.